Every now and then, a song comes along that's more than just music. It's like a snapshot, a story of a very specific moment in time. And that's exactly what we're digging into today with 3 More Years by Larry W. and I. This song just taps right into a deep well of economic anxiety. So let's break down the story these lyrics are really telling. Wow. Right from the jump, the song just grabs you with this line. It's the entire theme packed into one single gut punch of a metaphor. This isn't just about a personal letdown. It's about a fundamental breakdown of trust. It's that feeling that the whole system is writing bad checks to the very people who keep it running. All right, so let's start right there, with that feeling of a promise that's been shattered. The song really builds its world on this tension, this gap between what was expected and the reality people are actually living through. What's so powerful here is the tone. The song kicks off with, "They said things would change, but the change never came." And you notice, that's not a yell of protest, is it? It's more like a heavy sigh. It immediately sets this mood of pure exhaustion, of people who have just been waiting for a very, very long time. And the lyrics capture this feeling of fleeting optimism just perfectly. Hope on the horizon, always gone in a flash. It's like this shimmering future that always seems just within reach, but poof, it vanishes the second you get close. Let's call it the hope horizon. It really describes this painful cycle of getting your hopes up only to have them dashed again. Now, this feeling of hardship, it isn't just some vague idea in the song. Oh no, it paints a very clear, very specific picture of the pressures that people are facing day in and day out. It starts with a pressure I think we can all relate to, the bills. The lyrics say they are still mounting, and that word, still, is so important. It tells you this isn't some new problem. It's a constant, grinding weight that just never seems to go away. And then the song gets super specific. It's not talking about abstract inflation numbers. It's about the price of eggs. And that's just a perfect way to show how these massive economic forces are felt in the most ordinary parts of our lives, literally right at the breakfast table. And to top it all off, you get this absolutely crushing sense of stagnation, no ladder to climb. That one line, it's like the death of the dream of upward mobility. It's that feeling that no matter how hard you work, there's simply no way to get ahead. So yeah, when you lay it all out like this, the rising costs, the lack of any path forward, this constant fight to just dodge hunger, heartbreak, and death, you really get the sheer scale of this struggle. This isn't just describing a bad week. It's describing a life lived under siege. But here's the thing. The song isn't just about hardship. Not at all. Because right in the middle of all this pressure, this really powerful sense of resilience and community starts to shine through. It's about the kind of strength you find when you feel like you have nothing else left. This slide just lays it out so clearly. That us versus them contrast that's really at the heart of the song. On one side, you've got these symbols of wealth and escape, right? Stocks and yachts. And on the other side, each other. A dream wrapped in tape. The lyrics are basically saying, sure, they have their assets, but our assets are each other, our solidarity, our fragile hope. For me, this line feels like the soul of the entire song. It's a declaration. It's looking the pain square in the eye, the blues, but absolutely refusing to be defined by it. It's like they're saying, you can take a whole lot from us, but you are not taking our dignity. And this is where we see this really fascinating shift. This song moves from, we've been patient, been quiet, to this silence is shaking, it's getting loud, it's getting warm. See that? This isn't just about enduring anymore. It's the beginning of defiance. It's the sound of a community slowly but surely reaching its breaking point. Which brings us to what might be the song's most central, haunting theme. It's not just about the struggle itself, but about the agonizing, heavy, soul-crushing process of just waiting for it to end. And then the song just drops this question on you. It's so simple, but it's also kind of terrifying, isn't it? How much can we take? It's a question for everybody, for the people in charge, for the universe, for us, the listener. It just hangs there in the air with no easy answer. How much pressure can people take before they finally break? 3. The title itself gives us a time frame, 3 more years. And putting a number on it is so interesting because it makes the struggle feel like it has an end date, but at the same time it feels incredibly daunting. It turns waiting into a countdown, almost like a sentence that has to be served. And you can really feel the physical toll of all that waiting right here.
The lyrics are just filled with these metaphors of strain, holding your breath, walking uphill. This isn't passive waiting. It's an active, exhausting struggle just to keep going.
So, where does this all end up? How does it resolve? Well, the song doesn't end with a revolution or a big victory or some miracle. It ends with something much more intimate, much more human. It ends with a prayer for mercy. But before we get to that final prayer, there's this really crucial piece of context in the last few lines. The lyrics mention they survived the first 4 years, and that just reframes everything. This isn't some isolated crisis, it's just the next chapter in a long, ongoing story of endurance. So, what are they actually praying for? When you look at this list, it's not what you might expect. It's not for wealth, not for power. They're just asking for something real, not another empty promise, something better than living in fear. And finally, simply mercy. It's this beautiful, humble plea for basic human dignity and just a little bit of grace. And that's where the song leaves us, not with an answer, but with this final prayer just hanging in the balance. It's such a profound expression of hope against all odds, and it really captures the strength of people who are bruised, for sure, but are absolutely not broken. And it leaves us with that powerful question: will that mercy ever actually arrive?